Welcome back to Today we will dive into the swirling emotions and unexpected twists awaiting our beloved characters in Salem on this eventful Thursday, September 18th. In the bustling heart of Salem's nightlife, the elegant bar becomes the stage for a charged encounter as Tate Brady bursts into what was meant to be a romantic evening for Anna DiMera and her husband Tony. With her signature blend of sharp wit and unfiltered honesty, Kate doesn't hold back, unleashing her frustrations over the recent press conference fiasco that has thrown Titan DiMera into utter disarray. She accuses Tony of stirring up unnecessary chaos, pointing out how his decisions have ripple effects that could jeopardize business deals and family ties alike. Tony, ever the smooth operator with his charismatic charm and a history of navigating tricky situations, attempts to diffuse the tension by turning on his persuasive allure. He leans in closer, his voice dropping to a soothing whisper, perhaps even offering a gentle touch on her arm as he explains his side of the story, insisting that his intentions were to protect the company's legacy. This intimate moment doesn't go unnoticed by Anna, who watches from across the room with a growing storm of jealousy brewing in her eyes. Her mind races with memories of past betrayals, and she wonders if Tony's old habits are resurfacing, adding a layer of personal drama to the already volatile corporate intrigue. As the night unfolds, viewers can expect Anna's simmering resentment to bubble over, potentially leading to a heated confrontation that could redefine their marriage dynamics. Shifting to the vibrant town square, where the air is filled with the sounds of daily life and unexpected meetings, Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez find themselves in a heartfelt standoff with Chanel Dupree DiMera. Chanel, her eyes lighting up with maternal longing, spots the duo pushing baby Tesoro in his stroller and can't help but gush over the adorable infant, imagining him as part of her own family. This innocent admiration quickly escalates into a candid conversation where Chanel opens up about her dreams of building a family. She confesses her eagerness to fast-track the adoption process, drawing on her close bond with her mother, Paulina Price, who holds significant influence as the mayor. Chanel envisions Paulina pulling strings within the local bureaucracy, perhaps expediting paperwork or prioritizing their application amid the long list of eager prospective parents vying for Tesoro. She paints a vivid picture of cozy family mornings, with Tesoro's laughter filling their home, and explains how she believes this child is destined to bring joy and stability to her life with Johnny DiMera. Leo and Javi, however, listen with heavy hearts, their faces etched with worry as they grapple with the impending loss of the baby they've grown so attached to. They've formed an unbreakable bond with Tesoro, from late-night feedings to playful afternoons in the park, and the thought of handing him over feels like ripping out a piece of their souls. Despite the slim odds, they whisper about the possibility of throwing their hats into the adoption ring themselves, imagining a future where they could provide a loving, unconventional home filled with laughter, music, and endless adventures. Yet, reality looms large, and they fear their chances are as fleeting as a Salem sunset. This adoption saga takes another turn as Chanel seeks out Paulina directly, arranging a private meeting in the mayor's office overlooking the town square. With determination in her voice, Chanel pleads for her mother's assistance, detailing how she's researched adoption agencies and prepared a nursery in anticipation. She adds inventive touches to her pitch, like promising to honor Tesoro's mysterious origins with a special family tradition, perhaps a yearly celebration at the firehouse where he was found. Paulina, torn between her maternal instincts and her ethical duties as a public figure, listens intently, weighing the pros and cons. She recalls her own journeys through life's ups and downs, from political scandals to personal triumphs, and considers how using her position could be seen as favoritism. Yet, the love for her daughter shines through, and she might just agree to make a few discreet calls, setting the stage for a potential fast-tracked process that could make Chanel and Johnny's dreams come true sooner than expected. Meanwhile, tensions simmer in the younger circles of Salem as Tate Black arrives at a gathering spot and spots Holly Jonas deep in conversation with Ari Horton. The sight stirs a mix of emotions in Tate, regret over their recent arguments and a burning need to uncover the truth about his child. Pushing aside the awkwardness, he zeroes in on Sophia Choi, employing his boyish charm to draw her closer. Tate invents a casual excuse, like suggesting they collaborate on a school project involving film analysis, to invite her to his dorm room. Once there, in the dimly lit space adorned with posters and scattered notebooks, he subtly probes for information, asking leading questions about recent events while flashing his most disarming smile. To seal the deception and lower her defenses, he leans in for a gentle kiss, his mind racing with hopes that this intimate moment will coax out the secrets she's been guarding about the baby's fate. Sophia, caught off guard but thrilled by the attention, might hesitate but ultimately play along, her own feelings for Tate clouding her judgment and adding layers of complexity to the unfolding drama. On the sidelines, Ari steps up as Holly's supportive friend, offering words of encouragement amid the romantic turmoil. In a quiet corner of the park, surrounded by blooming flowers and the distant hum of city life, Ari reminds Holly of the strong connection she shares with Tate, urging her not to let jealousy or misunderstandings erode their future. She invents uplifting scenarios, like picturing Tate and Holly reuniting under the stars at a Salem festival, emphasizing how true love often weathers storms. Holly, her heart heavy with doubt, absorbs the advice, finding a spark of hope in Ari's optimism. However, the plot thickens when Ari later stumbles upon Sophia emerging from Tate's dorm room, her cheeks flushed and clothes slightly disheveled. Shocked by the implication, Ari confronts Sophia right there in the hallway, demanding an explanation for the secretive rendezvous. Sophia, desperate to avoid escalating the situation, pleads with Ari to keep this encounter under wraps from Holly, fearing it could shatter friendships and ignite even more chaos. Ari, loyal to her core but conflicted, weighs her options. Will she honor the request or choose honesty to protect her friend? As these storylines intertwine, the episode promises a whirlwind of emotions, from the pangs of potential parenthood to the sting of jealousy and the thrill of hidden agendas. Kate's interference in Tony and Anna's evening adds a spicy undercurrent of seduction and rivalry, while the battle over baby Tesoro highlights the deep desires and fears of those longing for family. Tate's quest for truth pushes boundaries, risking relationships in the process, and Ari's role as mediator could tip the scales in unexpected ways. Stay tuned to Days of Our Lives for more revelations and heart-pounding moments that keep Salem's residents, and us, on the edge of our seats. Part 2. Days of Our Lives Recap. Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Secrets, DNA tests, and unfinished business. Welcome back, dear viewers, to another day in Salem where family secrets, medical ethics, and old rivalries continue to shape the lives of our favorite characters. Today's episode was filled with hidden agendas, emotional confrontations, and even a little humor in the middle of all the tension. Let's break down what happened on this unforgettable Wednesday. Brady and the toothbrush mystery. The episode opened with Marlena walking into her home, only to find Brady in the most peculiar situation, sneaking Tate's toothbrush into a bag. Now, most parents and grandparents watching this scene likely raised an eyebrow. After all, what does it say about Tate's dental hygiene if Brady is so confident his son won't even notice the missing toothbrush? Marlena, with her perfect mix of sharp wit and maternal concern, summed up the entire moment with a single line, "Do I want to ask about this?" Her timing was spot on, reminding viewers why she remains one of Salem's most beloved matriarchs. Brady, however, wasn't about to let Marlena dig too deep into his little scheme. He quickly reassured her that he had everything under control, brushing aside her suspicions as casually as he tucked the toothbrush away. Marlena gave him a look, the kind only a mother and grandmother can give, that said she knew more than he was letting on, but for now, she allowed him to keep his secret. Once the toothbrush drama was set aside, their conversation turned to something far more serious. Rachel. Marlena warned Brady that his approach to disciplining Rachel might push his daughter away for good. Her advice was clear. He needed to soften his stance or risk losing her forever. Kristen has been absent for 6 long years, a span that is practically an eternity for a child. Marlena wisely pointed out that Rachel has been growing up without her mother, and denying her the chance to reconnect with Kristen could only cause more heartache. Perhaps it's time, Marlena suggested, for Brady to allow Rachel and Kristen to rebuild their relationship, no matter how complicated it might be. Steve's visit to Kayla's clinic. While Brady was dealing with Marlena's probing questions, Steve was across town facing a very different kind of obstacle. He arrived at Kayla's clinic with a request that immediately raised red flags. He wanted her help with a DNA test. Kayla, ever the professional and deeply ethical doctor, was not pleased. Her first reaction was a mix of shock and disappointment. She reminded Steve that Salem has been dragged through far too many secrets, lies, and half-truths when it comes to DNA testing. The town has seen babies switched, paternity tests faked, and family trees rewritten so many times that even the most seasoned Salemite can barely keep track. For Kayla, agreeing to yet another secret DNA test was simply out of the question. She told Steve in no uncertain terms that she would not be a part of it. Her career, her ethics, and her reputation were all on the line. With E.J. DiMera lurking in the background, always looking for an excuse to push her out of the hospital, she had no intention of giving him that ammunition. But in true Kayla fashion, she also found a way to help without breaking the rules entirely. With a sigh of exasperation, she handed Steve a link to a do-it-yourself DNA test. "Welcome to the future," she quipped, half annoyed and half resigned. It wasn't the answer Steve wanted, but it was the best she was willing to give him. A suspicious brown envelope. Of course, Steve being Steve, he wasn't going to walk away empty-handed. While at the hospital, he quietly pulled out a brown envelope that seemed to contain something important. Kayla noticed, but her eyes said everything. She wasn't going to ask questions, and she didn't want to know what he was planning. The tension built as Steve made his way to the nurse's station. Brady soon joined him, the two men standing together like they were in the middle of some back-alley deal. To anyone passing by, it might have looked like something shady was going on. And then came the handoff. Brady discreetly gave Kayla the toothbrush. Yes, the same one he had swiped from Tate earlier. Kayla gave it a quick glance, her disapproval written all over her face, before telling them flatly to take it to the lab. The entire scene played out like a suspense thriller, complete with whispered exchanges and side glances. Sarah and Xander, a fragile truce. Meanwhile, another important moment was unfolding between Sarah and Xander. Sarah, who has been through a whirlwind of emotions lately, finally took a step that many fans have been waiting for. She apologized to Xander. Her apology wasn't just a quick word tossed off to ease tension. It was heartfelt. Sarah admitted that she had judged Xander too harshly, that she had let her anger blind her to the man he was trying to become. For Xander, who has always struggled to rise above his dark past, those words meant more than she probably realized. This fragile truce between them might not erase all the pain of their past, but it opened the door for something new. Perhaps reconciliation, perhaps closure, or perhaps another chapter in their complicated love story. EJ's heavy heart. The episode also gave us a quieter but equally important scene with EJ. For once, the powerful DiMera wasn't plotting or scheming. Instead, he was reflecting on Kat and feeling a deep sense of regret. EJ has built a reputation as a ruthless businessman and master manipulator. But in that moment, the audience saw a rare glimpse of his humanity. He admitted to himself, and perhaps to those closest to him, that he felt truly bad about how things had unfolded. It was a reminder that even the coldest Salem residents carry their own burdens of guilt. Closing thoughts. Today's episode of Days of Our Lives perfectly blended humor, drama, and heartfelt emotion. From Marlena's dry wit about Brady's toothbrush scheme to Kayla's firm stand on medical ethics, the episode gave viewers plenty to think about. The ongoing question of Rachel's future, the secret DNA test, Sarah's apology, and EJ's moment of guilt all weave together into a tapestry of storylines that promise more twists in the days ahead. As always in Salem, the past refuses to stay buried, and every choice made today will echo into tomorrow. For longtime fans, especially those who have watched these characters grow and change over decades, today's episode was a reminder of why this soap opera has remained a beloved tradition. Salem may be filled with secrets and schemes, but it is also filled with family, forgiveness, and the hope that tomorrow might bring redemption.